Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for joining us for this webinar today to go through some of the latest features of LEAP. These webinars aim to improve the way law firms implement the features of LEAP. My name is Jessica Brzezinski and I am one of LEAP's client account managers and I am based in South Australia. Today's webinar is one of our quarterly webinars focusing on LEAP's latest features and innovations. As with all our educational webinars, this webinar will run for approximately 30 minutes and will be conducted in listen-only mode. This means that you can hear me, but I cannot hear you. So now could I just ask everyone to please raise their hands using the little green hand icon in the top right-hand side of the screen so that I know that you can hear me. Excellent, lots of hands going up, thank you. Now, please feel free to type any questions into the GoToWebinar feature throughout the duration of today's webinar. Although we may not be able to respond to all your questions after the webinar, we will email any responses to you directly after the webinar. Okay, so during this webinar, we are going to discuss how to set up cost estimate warnings within your timesheets, how to save PDFs from outside of LEAP, how to action precedent update notifications. Okay, so now I'm going to start today off with a question. I want to know how many of our listeners open your timesheet every day and enter your time through the timesheet. So the question is, how do you enter your time and fees? Now the responses can be either 1, through the timesheet, or 2, I enter my time and fees directly through the matter. Now let me just set up the poll, just one moment. Okay, so that should be appearing on your screen now. And if you just make your selection here, okay, I'm just going to allow some time to collect all the responses. Okay, excellent. All right, so I'll close that and I'm going to share my results with you. Okay, so it looks like 17%, 17% of you use your timesheet. So these new cost estimate warnings will definitely benefit you. And the percentage, the 83% of you who are entering your fees through the matter directly, the cost estimate warnings functionality is already an existing feature within LEAP. Okay, let me just close out of those results. Excellent. Okay, so what are cost estimate fee warnings? So when you're entering time through your timesheet, and if a matter has the fee estimate details entered, a warning message will be displayed when the value of the transactions entered either reaches or exceeds the estimate. This is particularly useful in scenarios where you have provided a client with an estimate of costs and you do not want to go over the previously quoted amount. So let's go into LEAP now and I'll show you how to set this up. Okay, so firstly, let's head to our options on the LEAP main screen through Tools, Options, and now these options will open a new window in your browser. So I'm just going to drag this across so you can see my screen. Okay, so under General Preferences, go to Accounting, and we're going to select the Estimate Warnings tab. Here you have 2 options. You can either enter a dollar figure for your amount or a percentage amount. So for this example, I want to be notified when my fees reach 90% of my cost estimate. So I'm going to put in 90% and select Save. Now, it is important to make sure that you have your fee estimates entered on your matter as well. So I'm going to go back into Leap now, open my matter, and I'm going to click on my matter details, which is this screen here under details. Okay, now you can see over to the right under the accounting heading, you've got fee estimate and disbursement estimate. Now into your amount, let's do 1,000 or 10,000. Maybe let's make it something smaller. Let's do 1,000, including tax or excluding tax. And now it's important to remember to select your checkbox for show estimates warning. So I'm going to tick that, and we're going to click OK. Now make sure you hit save and close to save those extra options. Okay. Now we're all set up, so let's try it out in our timesheet now. So we can go up to Office Accounting and Timesheet. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and enter a new entry. I forgot which matter I'm entering. Okay, so just filling out your details. Okay, so tabbing across. Now you'll see now that it has prompted this error message that mentions that the matter has exceeded the estimate. So if we hit OK, and you can choose to delete or review that entry before you enter it. Excellent. Okay, so I'm going to close that one now. Now, the next thing I want to go through is how to save your PDFs to Leap. It is also important to note here that this feature is only available with the latest version of Adobe Acrobat. If you wish to download the latest version, you can find a link on the Leap community. If you find that Adobe Acrobat Reader is not set as your default program, I will show you how you can change that. So I'm going to open up my folder with my external documents. Okay, so I want to upload this pre-action procedures document. So I'm going to right click on that document and go to Properties. And you can see under the General tab, Opens With, and this is where you can choose what document program you'd like to set as your default. So you can see here I've got my Adobe Acrobat Reader set. So I'm going to just click OK. Now I'm going to go ahead and open up this PDF document now. Okay, so to the right of the document, you can see your usual tools that are available through Adobe that you might be familiar with already. But down towards the end here, we've got the new button that's just Leap. So if I click on that, that button will bring this toolbar up the top. And you've got a couple of options here. You've got Bring to Front or Save to Leap. And with your Bring to Front, that will bring Leap to the forefront of your screen. For this demonstration, I'm going to select Save to Leap. Okay, and you can see how it's brought up Leap to the forefront, and it's also generated this window. This window is Save PDF to Leap, so you can straight away enter your matter number, or you can do a search with your filters to select the matter that you want to save the PDF to. Excellent. Okay, I'm going to minimize that. Okay, let's go back to our presentation. Managing precedent update notifications. So in LEAP, you have access to a comprehensive library of automated forms, guides, and precedents across common areas of law. The LEAP content team are responsible for the creation and maintenance of the automated forms, and for our clients with a companion arrangement with bylawyers, have access to continually updated guides and precedents across Australia. When a precedent that has previously been modified by your firm has been updated by LEAP or by lawyers, you will receive the following notification message on opening the precedent. Now, this is a very exciting feature, especially for those clients with bylawyers, because it means that you can modify any original precedent and still get the updates, as opposed to duplicating the precedents to customize them and having only the original precedent updated. Okay, so let's have a look at the update notification window. Now, at the top of the window, you will notice that you have two actions to choose from: open and preview, or compare. Now, open and preview, this will allow you to open the precedent and preview the changes made to the precedent. This will allow you to decide whether you want to go ahead and apply the changes to the precedent. With the compare function, it will allow you to select two versions to compare the differences within each precedent. You can hold Control and click on the two versions that you would like to compare. Okay, now once you have seen these changes, you'll be able to make a selection in the notification window from the following options. Okay, so you can use the update and replace our precedent. Now, when this option is selected, the existing precedent will be updated with all the changes made. You can open the updated precedent to use. When this option is selected, you'll be able to use the updated precedent. However, the precedent on your firm's profile will not be updated. Or you can ignore the update and use our existing precedent. Okay, so you can select from the following options to set up your notification settings. Do not show this message unless the precedent is updated again. When this option is selected, you will not receive the message advising that changes have been made unless additional changes are made in the future. Show this message again after blank days. You can use that space there to choose how many days that you would like to nominate before being prompted to review the precedent changes again. Or show every time that we use this precedent. When this option is selected, every time that you open the precedent, you will receive this updated precedent window. Now, it is important to note here that the update notification will only show on original precedents and not on the duplicated precedents. Now, you might be thinking, when and who gets these update notifications? Well, after an update has been made, the first staff member to access the precedent will be presented with a notification message about the updates. They can either accept or ignore the updates from the notification window. But once the staff member has selected an option, it will be applied firm-wide. However, you also have control of who can action these update notifications, which may be a good option if perhaps you would like your practice manager or your LEAP administrator to only have the ability to action those updates. Okay, so that being said, let's jump back into LEAP and I'll demonstrate to you how you can manage those security settings for accepting precedent updates. So I'm going to open up my LEAP. Okay, so again, if we go through tools and options, and we go to staff members, Okay. Now I'm just going to search for myself for this example, and I'm going to go over across to the right and select the three dots button there, details, access and permissions, and edit security details. Now, if we go under client-side security, you can see the second from the bottom, precedents accept updates for firm. So please remember here that this option is ticked by default when staff members are created in Leap, so you may wish to untick those. Okay, we're going to hit save. Okay, now back to our presentation. Now it is question time, so let's have a look at some of the questions from today. And if you have any other questions, feel free to enter them now. Okay, so first up, when does this precedent update window pop up? So the precedent notification update will populate upon the first time the staff member has opened the precedent since the update from Leap or by lawyers. Okay, look. Okay, so there are quite a few questions coming through. So I am conscious of time, so I'm going to respond to those questions directly by email after the webinar. Now, I also just wanted to take this opportunity to remind you that by reviewing the What's New section in the Leap community, and by watching these quarterly new features webinars, you can rest assured that you are using Leap the way that it has been designed and extracting all the benefits that is possible out of your arrangement. Thank you all so much for attending today, and have a lovely rest of the afternoon. Thank you. Bye.